my friends. It is time for my February candle chat. This is a series that I typically like to do twice a month on my channel where I sit down, I share with you what I am currently burning in my candle rotation. I also sometimes use it as an opportunity to throw in a little bit of a haul if I have maybe received or purchased some candles that I just don't have enough to really make a whole video on. So I will be talking about two candles that were sent to me in PR from Homeworx. But yeah, this is, like I said, typically twice a month. I got back to it in January. This month, it's only going to be one video because earlier this month, actually the first 9 days of February, I was on vacation. I did mention it in the Kringle cold sniff video that I already posted a couple of days ago, that the first part of this month, I was actually on a much anticipated, been planning for almost a year vacation with not only my immediate family, meaning my children and my husband, but I went with some extended family. We took a Caribbean cruise on the Sun Princess and had a wonderful time. And the reason why I'm telling you guys this is obviously there's a reason why this is only, this video is only going up once, but also coming back from a tropical vacation has definitely shifted my mindset completely out of all of the warm, cozy, wintry scents. I am definitely, my mind is craving floral, gourmand, but the gourmands now are more like lemon or vanilla gourmands. I'm definitely moving away from a lot of those spice or deep, heavy chocolate type of scents, although you will see a couple of exceptions in this video today. But overall, you guys, I'm starting to crave some of the candles that I typically burn as the weather gets warmer. Now, ironically, today it's a bit cloudy, a little bit colder for us here in Arizona, but yeah, that's not going to deter me because I've already set my rotation for the latter half of this month, and I'm excited to share with you what I've been burning, what I plan to burn. Now, if you're new to this series, basically what I do when I talk about candles that I'm currently burning, a lot of these I haven't gotten around to doing some post-burn reviews on yet. Some of them I have, some of our old favorites. So I just feel like this is a good little catch-all video. So I would encourage you to grab a drink, grab a snack, settle in, get a cozy blanket. I just redid the bedding in my room, and oh my goodness, I got one of those bunny blankets, and so cozy. But yeah, settle in. We're just going to chat about wax. As always, all of the candles that I'm talking about today will be listed and linked in the description box down below. I'll have timestamps down there for you to reference back. And if I have any affiliate discount codes down there, you can always check that out. So thumbs up if you like this video, subscribe if you're new, and let's go ahead and talk about some candles. So the first one that I wanted to talk about is actually a candle that I just talked about in the Kringle video. So this is Lilac and Lily. And I did talk about in that video that this is the reserve fragrance from their most recent launch. I think that was about a week ago now. There were 5 new fragrances, very floral heavy. Florals aren't usually my jam, but you all know how much I love Kringle's fresh lilac fragrance. So this one definitely intrigued me when I saw that this was going to be released. Now, Kringle was kind enough to send this candle to me in PR, but I did say in that video that had I not received this in PR, this is the one candle out of the collection that I would have spent money on to purchase. Fragrance notes here are lilac, lily, green, floral, musk, and moss. And here's the thing, you guys, I like it a lot. It is different than fresh lilac. I still smell the lilac note, but I do smell the lily in there. There's a slight powderiness to this candle. And I'm just going to repeat what I said in that video. If you are somebody who likes a more authentic, fresh, off of the bush lilac, you're going to want to go with fresh lilac because even that has like a little bit more of like a woody accord to it, and you get those lilac petals. It's definitely lilac that I'm smelling in here, but this is more, if you're somebody who likes a more powdery floral, I think that you're going to like this one a little bit more. So I'm excited to get to burning it. I haven't burned it yet, but I think I'm going to probably start on this one tomorrow, I think. A candle from Bath and Body Works that I have been burning. Now, I actually have 2 of these in my collection. I think this is from like the original Neutrals lineup. And then they have repackaged this candle, not repackaged, well, is it repackaging? Like they've put it in different packaging now a couple of times, but this is one of my all-time favorite fragrances from Bath and Body Works, pink lavender and espresso. We have fragrance notes of rich pink lavender, caramel espresso beans, and smooth vanilla. I think by now everybody knows what this smells like. It smells very much like the lavender marshmallow scent, but you do get a tiny hint of that like espresso coffee note in here. It adds a little bit of something extra, but I do really like it. What I don't love is how this one burns. It's a dirty burner, and do I not purchase it anymore? No, because I love this fragrance. I tell my friend Greg from All About Candles, I have like a toxic love affair with some toxic candles from Bath and Body Works. It's like this one, the pistachio and toasted vanilla. What's the other one that I'm thinking of? There's a few of them that from Bath and Body Works that I'm like, and am I there still buying them every year? Yes, because I love the fragrance that much. Um, Honestly, you guys, I've had a couple of inquiries from some of you guys. I know that they had that Disney collab, kind of like a pre-sale thing that went on earlier this week. It didn't really appeal to me. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not a Disney adult. Fun fact, my sister is. So it didn't really appeal to me for that. But honestly, I know I've been harping on this a little bit lately, but my Bath and Body Works candles just have not been great performers for me. They're dudding out. They're not throwing well. Like that was usually always like the draw of Bath and Body Works, was at least they were strong performers in terms of strength and throw. But I'm not experiencing that lately. I'm experiencing lower strength and throw, similar to what I can get from some of these other candles. So yeah, I've been having to crock a lot of my recent Bath and Body Works candles. So I did go in the other day to Bath and Body Works just to kind of sniff some of the candles that I think have been out now for probably about 3 weeks. There are a couple that are on my wish list, but I am waiting for maybe a $13.95, $12.95 sale. I am filming this before the weekend, so if there's one this Valentine's Day weekend, I do have a 25% coupon and a 20% coupon, so I might, then take the gamble on them. But anyways, I do love this fragrance, pink lavender and espresso. I have two of them. I burn both of them at the same time, or sometimes what I will do is I'll burn one in one room and then Kringle candles, Dalgona in another, and that's another great combination. A Homeworx candle that I showed, I think, was it my late January candle chat that I showed this? Or no, my Homeworx haul. I think it was a Homeworx haul that I had. This is a fragrance that's not new to Homeworx, but I've never had it before. This is Enchanted Peony. Fragrance notes here are velvet peony, goodness, pink camellia, leafy greens, golden amber, fresh blackberry. So this candle, I have burned this once now. I burned this yesterday for probably a good 6 hours. Nice clean wax pool still. Didn't have any issues with it pulling out. I have trimmed the wicks a little bit after the burn. I try to remember not to do that sometimes, especially when I'm going to film like the close-ups, but I forgot yesterday. I like this fragrance. Now they are a little bit thinner wicks and they do develop a little bit of excess carbon at the end. Not huge carbon balls, but you might want to trim them. But this was really nice. This was a really good strength and throw as well from the first burn. We all know sometimes with Homeworx recently, the first burn, not so strong. You're kind of having to get to like maybe about 3 burns in before you start realizing the potential of these candles. But this one from the outset was a strong performer for me. Yesterday, I would give this one a solid 8 in my home. Now, to be fair, florals do tend to do very well in my home. I think floral fragrance oils by nature are just strong, just as like a cinnamon fragrance note is very strong. And we all know like a vanilla is weak. So this one is very, very nice though. For somebody like me who doesn't usually go towards florals, I actually really, really like this. I do smell the peony in here, but I like that he puts blackberry in here. And I know Harry, I believe, has gone on the record saying that he himself does not like a pure floral scent, which is why you will see in most Homeworx florals a fruity note mixed in there because it kind of tones down the punch you in the face of a floral. But this, I really, really enjoyed this fragrance. And I was burning it yesterday. I think it was Betsy. I think you gave me the recommendation of burning spun vanilla sugar with Enchanted Peony. Spot on. I actually, you'll see it in my empties. I actually finally finished the Luxe size spun vanilla sugar that I've had for almost 2 years now. So that one was being burned alongside that. Before I forget, I did want to talk about the two candles that I'm currently burning. So to my right, out here in the living room right now, I am burning another Homeworx candle. It is their True Love fragrance, which I believe is also known as rose petals. It is very much a rose fragrance. However, like I said, because Harry blends a little bit of fruit in that one, I think there's a peach note, which I don't detect peach in there. What other fruit note was I noticing in there this morning? I can't remember what it was, but Harry puts, like we said, those fruit notes in there, and that rose scent is really, really nice. Now, it is definitely it's a floral rose, but it's not headache inducing for me, which is a win because if any fragrances are going to give me headaches, it's usually rose or freesia. So it's doing quite well in my home. I have lit it for the first time today. I burned it for about 3 hours this morning, extinguished it, trimmed the wicks, and then I just relit it again. But this morning, this thing was already from the first burn performing at least a solid 8 in terms of strength and throw. So it's another good, strong performer. And then another candle that's a great performer for me and one that I'm hoping to get a dedicated review out for you guys this week is the new Kringle Reserve Red Velvet. I'm burning that in my bedroom right now. Oh my word, you guys, if you are like me, first off, I love red velvet cake. Like, love it. When I was on that cruise ship, I got like a red velvet cake piece this big and had them put like 2 scoops of vanilla gelato on it. Oh, so delicious. I love me some red velvet cake. This red velvet candle smells exactly like a red velvet cake being baked in the oven. It's like it's got like 5 minutes more to go. It is missing the cream cheese frosting accord, which personally I'm actually okay with that because cream cheese frosting I feel like is probably a very difficult fragrance to get right because cream cheese can lean lactonic, it can lean a little bit sour. If you don't get it just right, it's going to ruin the entire candle. So I think that Kringle maybe would have went a little bit safer route here by focusing more on the cake accord than the frosting. And in fairness, they didn't put frosting on the picture, their cake picture. It is just a slice of red velvet cake. But it is so authentic. It is a very authentic red velvet cake. And for those of you, I've heard a couple of people talk about this fragrance. A lot of people say like, oh, it leans like milk chocolate or whatnot, and it smells like a chocolate cake to me. Being the red velvet cake connoisseur that I am, I have made red velvet cake a couple of times, and one of the ingredients that sets red velvet cake apart from a chocolate cake is that there is usually a little bit of white vinegar added to the batter. And that is what gives it a little bit different flavor than your traditional chocolate cake. And of course, red dye in there too. But that is what gives it the different flavor. And so that's why, to me, when I'm smelling this, yes, you get kind of that milk chocolate, but I am getting, like I said, it's definitely not a chocolate cake fragrance to me. I walk into my room and I'm like, yeah, it smells like red velvet cake is burning in here. I burned it out here in the living room. Like I said, I should be close to doing my dedicated post-burn review. I'm about a third of the way down on the burn on that one. And it's strength and throw right now, it hovers between a 7 and an 8. I would say the strength of it is about a 7, but the throw is an 8. It's throwing very well. In fact, it's in the bedroom, but I'm smelling it like coming out of the room. So really, really enjoying that fragrance. I would say that that's still probably my favorite one from the Valentine's Day. It really wasn't Valentine's Day, but the Valentine's Day Reserve collection. A fragrance, let me see here. Where is it? I was going to put it over here. Since we are talking about that collection, let me go ahead and talk about Bittersweet because this is the other chocolate fragrance. And a lot of people were wondering, like, what's the difference here? We've got two chocolate fragrances being marketed here. So what is the difference? This smells very, very different to me than the red velvet cake. This, I feel like they are trying to go for like the hardened chocolates coming out of the candy factory. Think like Lucy and Ethel, pounding them all into their mouth. This, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I like this one on cold. This one burning, especially after the first burn, I really enjoyed. But the second and third burns, I'm picking up a weird note. So I should tell you what the fragrance notes here. They are bittersweet chocolate, dark chocolate, cocoa, cream, vanilla. So It's almost in a weird way. I think it's the bittersweet chocolate accord in here that it is coming across a little bit bitter to my nose. I am somebody who prefers milk chocolate over dark chocolate, so that might be it. But there is a bitterness to this candle that honestly I'm not really loving upon burn. But if you are somebody who likes a bittersweet chocolate fragrance, I think that again, this is a fragrance that will blend well with a lot of your like. This would go well with that Enchanted Peony or the Rose Petals, the True Rose or True Love type of fragrance. This could possibly pair well with like a vanilla. I mean, you've got a lot of fragrance combinations here, but I'm going to continue to burn this one a little bit more. Obviously, I want to do a post-burn review, but I'm not loving this one. Strength and throw, very good. Again, another 8, I would say, in terms of strength and throw. Of course, right? It's a fragrance that I don't love. But yeah, I'm not loving this one. There's something about it. I liked it on the first burn, but as I'm burning it more, I'm like, there's something a little off smelling to that one that I am not loving so much. And then the final candle from that Valentine's Day collection is the Strawberry Prosecco candle. Fragrance notes here are strawberry, citrus, floral, green, grapefruit, fruit, and musk. So, here's the thing, you guys. I burned this one for the first time this morning. I'm going to share the other candle that I'm burning alongside with it. I like it. I actually enjoyed it more than I thought I would. I have mentioned before that I do like boozy fragrances. However, I tend to gravitate more towards like whiskey, bourbon, rum. Um, Even like Homeworx had a like a margarita candle that I was like, yeah, I could get on board with that. I'm not into these like proseccos, champagne, wine. Although I did like the Merlot candle last year from Kringle, I, I'm not into those types of fragrances, so I wasn't really sure how I would feel about this. I will tell you, this fragrance going to be probably a one and done for me. I could even possibly at this point see myself if somebody walked into my house and said, "Oh, I really love that candle." I'd be like, "Here, you can have it." But do I not like it? No, I enjoy it enough. This was a nice fragrance this morning. You definitely get the strawberry in there. I do detect a little tiny bit of grapefruit in here because that grapefruit accord is what gives it a little bit of that like effervescence, that little bit of bubbly in there. I don't really detect any kind of like florals or musk. It's not perfumey, but there is some citrus in here, like I said, which I think is the citrus and the grapefruit notes are giving it kind of that effervescence. Kind of a sweet candle, but it was really nice burning this morning. Again, filled my living room, no problem on the first burn. Good, ugh, good thrower, I would say. Solid 8. So I would say all of these reserve candles in this Valentine's collection are performing very well when it comes to strength and throw. That has been my experience so far. If they drop off in the middle of the burn, I'll let you know. But so far, they're doing quite well for me. But the fragrance that I was actually burning with it this morning, I kind of drew some inspiration from another combination that has some similarities. So here we go with the creepy label, but I pulled out a Halloween candle, which is It's Evil. Fragrance notes here are pastry, spice, butter, caramel, almond, and vanilla. And this candle is the sibling to the Easter brunch candle that they had in the 2024 Easter collection. This is like a croissant being baked. There's a little bit of sweetness to it. You get a little bit of butteriness to it. But this candle combined with the strawberry Prosecco, I felt like was a great kind of like brunch vibes type of fragrance to have going this morning. And again, I drew that inspiration because last year, one of my favorite combinations was the Easter brunch with the Reserve Juicy Strawberry. That's a really, really nice combination. So I figured if that's a nice combo, I should try these two. And sure enough, I was pretty happy with that. All right, let's talk about a Homeworx candle, which some of you might be a little bit surprised to see that I actually have this in my collection because I did do a dedicated review on this last year and I said like, I'm not sure if I would repurchase it. Like I like it, but it wasn't anything to go gaga over, but this is a fragrance that when I sat down and thought about it, I think that there was a really, really good sale. I think this might have been on clearance, that I was like, you know what? I think I enjoyed that fragrance enough to like, let's let it sit for a while and see if it gets some better strength and throw on it. Let's give it another chance. And this is Pistachio Glazed Donut. Now, I don't believe that this is available anymore. The fragrance notes are crushed pistachio, fried donut, ground nutmeg, and white sugar glaze. And this one in my review, I mentioned that I feel like you need to take out the donut on here. If you just called it pistachio glaze, I think that that's probably a more accurate representation of what I'm smelling here, because this definitely has a sweetness to it, like a frosting. I don't really get any donut accord in here, which is and was a little bit disappointing, because Harry does donut accords really, really well. We all know his hot cider donut, his sugared beignets, the funnel cake, churro scents. Like, he typically nails that fried dough accord, but it's missing in this one. This is definitely overtaken by the glaze, which is okay. But I like this one for this time of year. It's a gourmand. It's a little bit different than some of your typical fruity gourmands. Like, I'm going for like limoncello cupcake, or a lot of citrus-based gourmands for me personally. So this is kind of switching it up, and it also pairs really nicely with Bath and Body Works pistachio and toasted vanilla. That isn't in my rotation right now, but I feel like I talk about that candle so much that I didn't feel like bringing it out and showing it to all of you guys again. But that has been a really nice pairing. And I will say, this one, I think the Homeworx, more than any candles in my collection, letting them sit and cure, letting them sit a little bit longer, I do notice improved performance in terms of strength and throw, because I remember last year when I burned this candle, it was not very strong. It was detectable more so in my bedroom. This I burned out in the open concept twice now, and I've been able to smell it. It's still probably around a 7, but it's better than what I remember it being last year. I'm not having any issues with the wicks. There is a little bit of wax residue around the side here, but I do believe that it was because I had to extinguish this one after about an hour and a half of burn time. But I do really enjoy that fragrance. And then the last fragrance that I have been burning and want to give you guys an update on is the Valentine's Be Mine candle from Homeworx. Fragrance notes here are raspberry jam, warm shortbread, old-fashioned lemonade, and vanilla bean. This is also known as raspberry shortbread. So if you've had the raspberry shortbread fragrance, this is the exact same thing, just with a different label on it. I do appreciate that they put that on the bottom there, saying that like this is actually what it's known as. But it's funny, I reviewed this 2 years ago, and there was something in the fragrance oils when it was burning too long, the shortbread accord, that I was like, it's not hitting right. But I burned this yesterday, and I enjoyed it a little bit more than I remembered enjoying it. Is it still one that I feel like I need backups upon backups of? No, but I do like it. You get a little bit of like a lemon note in there, which gives some sweetness. The raspberry is very nice. It's not an overly artificial raspberry, but the shortbread in here kind of adds a different type of gourmand scent than I'm typically used to. You know, we're usually used to like a cake or a pie or something like that. But I was actually really enjoying this fragrance. That being said, strength and throw on this. This was not a powerhouse for me on the first burn. I would give it probably about a 6.5. So I'll be curious to see if it gets any stronger for me. But yeah, it was a nice burn. So there are 2 other fragrances that Homeworx did send to me in PR that I did want to share with you, because one of the fragrances that I received, I actually think would be very complementary to this Be Mine, because they do share some similar fragrance notes. They are different fragrances, but I think, like I said, if you're like me and like to burn fragrances that complement one another, this candle here, which is the Limoncello Cupcake and Raspberry candle, I feel like this one's going to complement the Be Mine candle. So fragrance notes here are limoncello, candied lemon, muddled raspberries, baked vanilla cupcake. So this I actually like this. You still get the limoncello cupcake. Those of you who are familiar with limoncello cupcake from Homeworx, you know what it smells like. It's definitely like a lemon cupcake. It's a candle that I typically like to have in my collection every year. It's one of my best ones that I can use as like a blender, I would say. not overtly lemony. This one, I feel like the addition of the raspberry in here in a weird way almost makes the lemon in here smell more candied. It smells like a more candied lemon, similar to Bath and Body Works Limoncello. Um, Kind of that like really, really, I want to say tart lemon, but it's still a sweet, it's like a sweet tart lemon. It's not um, cleaner lemon. It's not that astringent lemon. It's definitely still a gourmand, but I really like this. So I am going to plan to burn this one alongside the Be Mine. This candle, I think, was initially only available on QVC, but it is now available on the Slatkin & Co. website. And then the other candle that they were kind enough to send to me is kind of the other offshoot, which is the Limoncello Cupcake and Toasted Coconut. We have fragrance notes here of limoncello, candied lemon, toasted coconut flakes, and baked vanilla cupcake. So essentially on both of these, the one they put in candied raspberry, this one they put in toasted coconut. But I am going to tell you, the coconut fragrance is noticeable in this one. This is like, whereas I feel like the raspberry blended one makes the lemon still shine, this is definitely more coconut dominant, at least on cold sniff. And it's a toasted coconut. It's not a sweet, like an artificial cocktail coconut. It's not even like the sweetened coconut that you get out of the bag at the grocery store. This is a toasted coconut type of fragrance. It's done very, very well. It reminds me of the toasted coconut fragrance that I pick up in the Kringle's ice cream sandwiches, which you guys all know how much I love that. But yeah, I really like this one. I actually can see myself burning this more towards the summer because coconut is a fragrance that I love in the summertime, but really, really nice fragrance. So I am very happy that they sent this to me. And as of this morning, you know how I mentioned that Homeworx, I was like, what is going on with Homeworx? Why are they not dropping new stuff on their website? I did notice this morning that there are some new things showing up there. I might pick up a couple of new fragrances. We'll see, we'll see. I gotta stay in line with my budget this month. But there's a couple of new fragrances. There was one that it was like a Namaste Woods. There was another one. Oh, what am I thinking of? There was another one on there that looked appealing. Oh, it was another coconut. It was something coconut that I was like, ooh, that looks appealing. So I am interested maybe in purchasing that. Also, stay tuned for at some point this week. I'm thinking it might be later on this week. I am going to do another one of my Caramel Sundays preview videos, and I'm also going to share with you the candles that I purchased from their January drop. Those did arrive while I was on vacation. I came home. I was able to get my hands on 4 of them. Didn't get my entire wish list, and I'll give you an update there, and then also go over what is on my wish list for the Sunday drop. So yeah, if you're curious to see that, that'll be coming up this week. And like I said, hopefully I'll have a couple of post-burn reviews to share with you on a lot of these newer fragrances. So please feel free to comment down below if you have any of these candles that I've been talking about in your collection. What has your burn experience with them? You guys know I always encourage you guys to share what your experiences have been, because that helps out the community as a whole. Let me know what's in your burn rotation right now. Are you still like, for all of the cozy warm scents? I know a lot of you guys, it's still really, really cold. So let me know, are you still gravitating towards that? Or are you like, nope, I'm over winter. Let's bring on all of the florals and tropicals and fruity scents. So I would be curious to know. Again, please consider subscribing to my channel if you are new and you like candle content. Please hit the thumbs up button. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.